With Matt Kenseth going into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, many are going to go back and look at some of his greatest moments and his illustrious career. But in my opinion, one of the greatest events in his career took place over part of a season in 2005. And we're going to get right into it and look right at it right after this. New year, new you. That's what a lot of us are saying. And while we're all trying to work out to get a better you also got to have a good diet. And that's where Factor comes in. Factor has a multitude of different pre-prepped meals that deliver fresh, never-frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. And what's great is that you can prep your meals to fit your life as well, as Factor comes with keto options, calorie smart, vegan, heck, even protein options. Perfect for any meal plan that you need. Here I'm having some Dijon pork tenderloin after a run. So, to get your Factor order, go to go.factor75.com/iceberg60 and use iceberg60 to get 60% off your first Factor box. That's go.factor75.com/iceberg60 with the code iceberg60 for 60% off your first box of Factor. Now, back to the show. One of the biggest points of reference for many people for the NASCAR season in 2005 was Roush qualifying all 5 of his drivers into the 10-man chase for the Nextel Cup. And it was and is to this day still pretty damn impressive. But in my opinion, many don't see the individual performances, and none is more bizarrely impressive than this guy's, Matt Kenseth. In 2003, Kenseth was one of the most consistent champions in NASCAR history. While being a little more inconsistent in 2004, he still was a solid chaser. So, of course, the expectation for 2005 was that he would do well. But it did not start that way.
But it handles good as we see Matt Kenseth in the 17 car. He's in trouble, it looks like.
Yeah, he almost stopped going into turn number 3.
Right side.
He gets a tire down.
Right side tires.
Well, it's shaking so bad I can't believe it, but just look at the right first.
Uh-oh, tailpipe smoke or tire smoke?
I think that's tires.
They broke the flywheel.
I believe that's coming out the exhaust.
It's something else. Yep.
Shaking
there's the telltale sign. They're going to go under the hood, Matt Kenseth, the 17 car.
So 2 pre-race favorites in early trouble, Bobby Labonte and the 2003 Nextel Cup champion, Matt Kenseth, is being pushed behind the wall.
While not ideal, Kenseth did run well at Fontana the next week and led 57 laps with top 5 speed all day. But with less than 20 to go, trouble hit again for the 17 crew. The flat led to a 26th place run 1 lap down. He at least stopped the bleeding with an 8th place run at Las Vegas, but that was all for naught after a couple laps at Atlanta, as on lap 2 he managed to be caught up in a crash that put him back to 31st, and a wreck at Bristol as well that had him 16th 3 laps down. Yet even with that, he managed to stay within 156 points of 10th, that being the distance in points you can make up in a full race. But this all went to hell and down the drain on a spring Phoenix night.
Now let's show you why we're under caution.
Oh man, this hurts.
And that, oh golly gee, that hard hit.
Just lost the right front tire. Just tire went down.
Be able to stay out when some of these other guys have to come in. That could get them back to the front. But driving back to the front is pretty tough. Oh, Michael just got turned.
And look at Matt Kenseth in the 17 gets wrapped up in it.
With that and brake issues at Pocono, he was mired 320 points back, 23rd in the point standings, over 2 full races back in points from 10th, with 12 races to go till the chase. And this is where his season started to actually turn around. At Michigan, for instance, in a Roush-centered day, Kenseth ran up front and nabbed a 4th place finish after staying out of the pits late. His first top 5 since early September of 2004. A then career-high 11th at Infineon, a 9th place survival at Daytona, those 2 finishes pumped him up to the top 20 in points. Over the 3-week span, he had gained 80 points on the chase. Still, with 240 points to go, it was a tall task to make in the 9 races leading up. But Chicagoland was there, and it was where Kenseth's Blue 17 was dominant. Out of the 267 laps, he led an amazing and staggering 176 of them. He was outright dominant, but on the last round of pit stops under caution, he was leapfrogged by others, as Kenseth went to pit for fresh tires and others stayed out going for the win, relegating him to a runner-up finish in that race to another driver that he was racing for a chase spot. And with a follow-up of a 10th place at Loudon, he was within 150 points of the chase, and all the way up to a season high of 16th in points. Over that 5-week span, his average finish was a 7.2. Pretty damn good. And he tore off 170 points of his previous 320-point gap, which is what made the second trip to Pocono so damn frustrating. As in the early summer, Kenseth struggled. Everything from handling to bad strategy luck mired him back in the pack, and a flat tire at the end pushed him even further back to a 36th place run, 7 laps off the pace. With 6 races left, the distance went from 150 points to 213. It would take a miraculous run to make it into the chase. At Indy, a 5th place run managed to help him make up most of the points he lost, and it was aided the next week as he managed at Watkins Glen to keep the bleeding down, losing only 1 spot in the standings, but gaining a small 3-point chip out of the gap. Michigan coming up looked to be the big opportunity. With 57 to go in the race, the final caution came out. This would force the entire field into a fuel mileage run. Restarting second with 51 to go, he would take the lead late back and forth with teammates Greg Biffle as well as Carl Edwards. Being up front meant that he was able to take advantage of any strategy, whether he went for the win by trying to save fuel as there be more distance, or pit earlier so he can make up that distance with a faster car. And with this, he pitted with 18 to go, taking the safe route and charging back through the pack to a 4th place finish. With 3 races left, he was on 104 points out, and this left Bristol, the night race, up next. Starting on pole, Kenseth was nearly unstoppable. After Jeff Gordon took the lead from him early, leading 27 laps, nobody but Kenseth was able to lead more than 18 consecutive laps.
Green flag, green flag.
Burton all over him. Got a slower car they got to pass. Carl Edwards up there. I know Kenseth didn't want to see this, but Carl gets out of the way. Their teammates, 17 and 99. White flag, last lap at Bristol. Half a mile to go. Boy, Burton drove it in there hard, didn't he?
He's trying as hard as he possibly can to catch that 17 car, but he's not going to be able to do it.
He's not. Matt Kenseth wins at Bristol.
With the win, Kenseth was 11th in points, only 11 behind 10th place Jeff Gordon. After a 56-race winless streak was snapped, the DeWalt Killer Bees were back. And with a quick 9th place run at Fontana the next week, along with struggling runs from Jeff Gordon and other drivers he was racing for the chase, the 17 Ford was in at that moment, 9th, 11 points in with only Richmond to go. But that next week, literally everyone he had to race had some kind of issue that held them back.
As you can tell, we are under caution here at Richmond for a spin by Elliott Sadler coming off of turn 4.
He gets together with Mike Garvey. And I don't know exactly who the other car was.
Sauter, I think it was.
I saw about 3 of them get together. Yes, Johnny Sauter was involved.
He's sitting in 10th spot right now, but he's also sitting in 7th spot on the racetrack. He doesn't have to deal with all this traffic like McMurray does. Busch leads. Kenseth second. Another crash. Ricky Rudd in the wall. And now Johnny McMurray. Oh, no!
With Gordon finishing 2 laps off the pace and a runner-up from the 17 that week, Kenseth qualified for the chase for the Nextel Cup by an insane 125 points. From the first Pocono race through Richmond, Kenseth had a point swing of 445. That is an average of over 34 points per race. Far and away, the greatest charge to the chase ever, and a worthy addition to this photo. Now, with that, I'm going to pass this all on to you. What is your favorite moment from Matt Kenseth? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.